Videos. Hello? Yeah. Hello? Yeah. Yes. Cody, video store commercial co-director.
Allison Robleski, producer of It's Not Custard. Kate McCoy, writer-director, It's Not Custard.
Ryan Dickey, writer-director, Montana, Georgia.
Kate Treefry, writer-director of How to Be Alone.
John Treefry, producer, How to Be Alone.
James Mitchell, producer, How to Be Alone.
Edgar Dabrowski, director of photography, Right Place, Wrong Tim.
Errol Splahos, writer-director, Right Place, Wrong Tim.
Hey guys, Meredith Alloway, writer, director, producer, was in Deep Tissue.
Josh Wilmot, producer and editor of Deep Tissue.
Rachel Walker, producer, Deep Tissue.
Mike Egan, director of Bronzed.
Linus Phillips, actor, Bronzed.
Nick Tag, co-writer, co-producer, actor, Other Side of the Box. Caleb Phillips, writer and director of Other Side of the Box.
Emily Hagen, writer, director of First Kiss.
I'm John Michael, wrote and produced First Kiss. I mean, I did not write it. There's so many people have said it, it sounds cool to say. I acted in First Kiss and helped produce, yeah.
He did everything, he found our location. He should get a lot of credit.
Lexi Banner, actor, First Kiss.
Emily Price, actor, First Kiss.
I'm Emily Ting, I co-directed the Do It Update.
Andrew, I also did it up
With me, I'm Josh. I acted in it and I wrote it in it.
Awesome, thank you. Why don't you talk about a little bit about what was that nugget of inspiration that sort of started your journey with this film?
Josh Fadum is pretty cool, and we just want to make a good movie.
Fuck yeah!
It was fun. We heard he wrote a short story, and we thought it was awesome, so we said let's shoot it. There was,
in our journey and our process and inspiration and our family and and creative
cinematography.
Can't really compete with that. But we made this short for Halloween. It aired originally on Snapchat on Halloween as kind of a more truncated version. And this is the kind of extended director's cut where we got to build a little more tension than the fast-paced Snapchat, deal. So we wanted to brainstorm something that was kind of fun and kind of reverse the gender. He's kind of the weenie and she's like kind of checking it out, and we played a lot with that and different types of scares. So.
With the box film, we wanted to create something that was kind of universally scary, like somebody looking in at you from a window. And I mean, that's kind of what we base the whole thing on, is this kind of stranger danger, human kind of breaking into your house kind of feel.
Agreed.
I was inspired by my own depression. Just acting.
For Bronzed, it was sort of coming together of two different things. About 10 years ago, I got a spray tan, which was a formative experience. And then when I was in high school, I played basketball, and it would cause all manner of calluses to develop. Hello?
I ruined it. That's an actor-director relationship right there.
See, where was I? Oh, yes, my calluses. So I had a number of calluses on my feet, and I would saw them off with a pocket knife and then put them on my sister's pillow. And I'm really happy to say that that very sister is in the audience tonight. Sarah, I'm sorry and thank you.
That was so funny, you guys. I'm like trying not to laugh. That's hilarious. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna let it out. You're right. No, I guess a nugget of inspiration. I just kind of like looked around me and I was seeing a lot of people in codependent relationships, and I was like, this is really interesting. And then I was like, does this relate to like a manifestation of cannibalism? So I don't know, my brain works that way. And so I started to like research cannibalism as a sexual fetish, and it exists. Like, don't Google it, or do. Your own discretion. And then these two crazy weirdos at South by 2 years ago, we were at a party, and I was like, I have this script, like, and they were like, we should make that. So then we did, and that's how it came about.
Cannibalism as a sexual fetish is great. I'm just going to put that one out there. My mum. I swore vengeance on Ace of Butterfield many years ago, and this was my way of extracting sweet revenge over the course of a 2.5-day shoot.
I have an actual cabinet in my actual apartment that I have never opened, because when we first moved in, my husband opened it and there was an old, horrible looking Bible inside. And so I slammed it and I never opened it again, and that was like 3 years ago. And we're moving now. It's okay. I'm gonna be okay. So that was kind of the start of it all.
And I will add that when she wrote this, she was not pregnant, and when we actually made the movie, she was 5 months pregnant.
And you showed us 3 months.
Well, I was inspired. I want to tell a story about my best buds, Brad, David, and Lynn, who are playing very lightly modified versions of themselves here. And we grew up together in Atlanta, and they kind of introduced me to filmmaking in a way, like doing, home movies for fun on VHS and stuff. And they took divergent career paths, and I wanted to kind of like make an homage to some of the films that we grew up watching and loving, and also wanted to really celebrate our friendship that's lasted 20 years, and even though we live in different places and stuff, wanted to show that extraordinary and even sort of supernatural circumstances can keep a friendship stronger than ever. And this is based on a feature script that I wrote, and so this is like a teaser of the first act before things get really, really crazy.
I wish I had a decent reason. I like to squeeze spots, and there really wasn't any particular place this story came from. I was drunk when I wrote it.
I think we always wanted to see, like, in a found footage movie, like, somebody just, like, hit, like, whatever's chasing them, like a ghost or something. So that was, like, one of the ideas was hitting a ghost with a camera. And then Kevin, who's, like, the video store guy, like, owns the video store, and he wanted us to make a commercial, and we're like, no, we'll make, like, a short film about people making a commercial.
Awesome. Are there any questions from the audience? I saw your hand first.
So this is awesome right here. We were just talking about the lineup. We got like the Sex and Violence Justice League. You guys are awesome. So I think the best horror does a good job at taking real uncertainties, anxieties, and fears, and infuses them into something surreal or supernatural. You all did a phenomenal job of that. So I want to ask, like, up and down, how did you go about taking a real core, like, irk and turning it into something supernatural and surreal?
I don't know if mine was that. I don't know, like magnetic tape with like the ghost and VHS effects.
I'm not really sure how to apply that. The first note that I had about it was just like, what if there's a wall made of spots and the sister eats it? So I'm not,
Yeah. Well, you know, nothing's worse to kill the buzz than your dead grandfather coming back and spilling his guts on the floor in front of you.
Well, this question super applies to mine, which was, yeah, I have anxiety. I have a bunch of anxiety about getting pregnant and relationships and identity and whatever happens after that. So it kind of all came from that place of being like, what am I? What am I gonna become? And I wanted to just tell a story about like learning to make friends with your anxiety, and that you can all kind of do this gross group hug and like live together in creepy harmony. So like that's kind of my vibe.
Gosh, I guess there's nothing scarier than a sitcom, I suppose. I think there's something very fascinating about like somebody being trapped in like a sitcom where there's a studio audience that just keeps laughing at horrible stuff happening to them. Don't know why. It's like a recurring stress dream I have, but I think it kind of works in a way. Yeah. Yeah, and the clothes also is pretty unnatural.
You know, I love this question. It's so amazing because I had an experience sitting outside when just a little BTS info is like all of us were like huddling in the hallway like watching y'all watch our shorts. Little did you know. But we were having a conversation outside, and I think this question is so amazing because I think a lot, I don't know if I can speak for all of you guys, but sometimes you write things, you're like, that's crazy and that's fucked up, and you make the movie, and it isn't until after someone sees the film, like someone pointed out, oh, you're saying this really interesting thing about body image, and I knew I was talking a lot about the horrors of women and how they feel about their bodies and how much that is tied to sexuality, which we don't really talk about. And Rachel, I have to just like props to her being like, no, remember you're talking about this, and I'm like, you're right. Someone like Amanda, you're right there. She said she watched it and she's like, oh, this ending moment, like I connected with it in this way, and I was like, that's what I wrote. Yes, that's where it came from. But sometimes like there are horrific things and trauma that you have that you're dealing with that you don't know how to deal with. And so you make a movie, and then people watch it, all of you right now. So you're seeing, like, I don't know if I can speak for all of you, a lot of our traumas on our sleeves that we probably don't understand, and that's why we make a movie. So, yeah, right?
Yeah, just to kind of draft off of that, like, I'm a relatively, it's probably going to come as a surprise to all of you when you see me tonight, but I'm a relatively awkward and reserved person, and I think a lot of just coming up with the idea for the film and writing it was just sort of giving myself permission to be a little bit naughty, I guess, and just to like, no, it's okay, just let yourself think that thing, and then write it down, and it just kept, like, I had no concept that I would be in front of people showing it. It just kind of kept escalating. If you have friends that are producers, be careful what you tell them. And it just kept escalating and escalating until we're here, and I haven't really unpacked what it means beyond that.
We had a lot of different ideas. I think that kind of the resistance was to not go too supernatural. I think that we wanted to play with making something very natural and human be scary. So we kind of talked about more supernatural ways to go and had to kind of resist those ways and make a very simple idea be as creepy as possible.
We thought about it for a while and we realized it takes very little to actually scare people. It's just not knowing. And mystery is usually personified in just wondering what something wants and what someone wants, and giving it a human face implied intention, and that was the most interesting thing, was the constant question of what the fuck does this thing want, and that's what interests us the most.
For our film, I've done a lot of teen-centric things. I'm generally anxious and stressed out. I'm very sweaty right now. Hope you can't see it. But what I love exploring about teen stories is those anxieties, and when you learn how to kind of learn who you are while everyone else is learning who they are, and kind of growing up and growing past that. I think it's a really important time in your life and a fundamental thing you're going through. And so we were kind of like, Emily plays the monster. I don't know if she said that. And so what we did with her character was, her presence in the film was, she was like the manifestation of Shawn Michaels' anxiety. As the situation was getting more and more stressful, she was manifesting, and I like using real teen problems and using horror and genre elements to kind of like make it funny and make it scary and entertaining and bring it all together in something that we could all enjoy. So. Good. Excellent. Love to hear it.
Huh. Did we kind of fuck up a little bit, maybe? 'Cause I'm gonna be honest with you. We were trying to make like a really nice movie about good people going on a super fun date. Okay, I can kind of see where you get that like horror supernatural. I can kind of see that, but that was not our intention. We were just trying to make a really nice movie.
All right. Thank you guys. That's all the time we have today. The filmmakers will be outside to answer any questions. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much.